In the last video, you built your first automation. Nice work! Now how do you go from that to building anything you can imagine? It all comes down to mastering these 5 essential nodes. Stick with me, and I'll walk you through the complete toolkit. Alright, the first node we're going to look at is the Schedule node. To add it to the canvas, just click the plus sign and search for Schedule. Once it's open, you'll see an option on the left-hand side to set the interval. Let's say we want it to run every 20 minutes. Just select minutes and enter 20. That means this node will trigger every 20 minutes like clockwork. One important thing to note. The Schedule node only works when your workflow is in active mode. So after you've tested everything by clicking Execute, make sure to activate the workflow like this. Otherwise, the schedule won't do anything. Next up is the If node. Let's go ahead and add one to the canvas. In the settings, you'll notice you can configure a single or multiple condition. Here's how it works. Value 1 is the thing you want to check. Then you choose how you want to compare it, like equals, contains, greater than, etc., and value 2 is what you're testing against. To show this in action, let's add a Set node, just like we did back in Lesson 1. Let's add a parameter called x and set its value to 100. Also make it a number. Now, back in the If node, we're going to create a positive test. We want to check if the number is greater than 50, but less than 120. To do this, we will need 2 conditions. Go ahead and set up those 2 conditions, as I do here. Now, when I click the Execute button, you'll see that the true branch is triggered, because 100 is indeed greater than 50 and less than 120. You can also stack these conditions to build more complex decision-making logic. It's like giving your workflow a little brain power. Now let's head back to the Set node. We also worked with this back in Lesson 1. It's a super handy node for setting constant values. Whatever you define here will remain the same throughout the workflow. So in our case, where we set x equals 100, that value won't change unless you explicitly update it somewhere else. I often use this to set things like bearer tokens or any other fixed values that shouldn't change. It's great for testing. Before I start using the Input Form node, I rely on Set nodes to test my logic and workflows. It's a simple but powerful tool. Quick tip: if you want to jump between nodes quickly, just move your mouse to the left or right edge of the screen. A little node icon will pop up. Click on it, and boom, you're right there. Super useful for navigating big workflows. As you're working, you'll probably run into some errors, and that's totally normal, so don't panic. It happens to all of us. Just take a moment to read the error message carefully. It usually points you in the right direction. For example, here I forgot to set the y parameter to number, and that's what caused the issue. Easy fix once you spot it. Alright, let's clean up the canvas. Go ahead and delete the existing nodes, but keep the manual trigger in place. Now we're diving into something a bit more advanced. One of the most powerful nodes in n8n, in my opinion, is the HTTP node. So click the plus sign, search for HTTP, and add it to your canvas. Let's make some magic happen. So far, we've used nodes that have a specific purpose, like the weather node. But what if you want to get data from a service that doesn't have its own fancy node? A stock price website, a movie database, a site with random dad jokes? That's where the HTTP request node comes in. A GET request is exactly what it sounds like. We are getting information from a server. It's like typing a web address into your browser and hitting enter. So, to do that, we need a URL. We're going to use a fun, free, public API called the Dad Joke API. You don't need a key or anything. Open a browser tab and navigate to icanhasdadjoke.com/API. Here you can see their instructions. It's super simple. They tell us if we want a random joke, we just need to send a GET request to icanhasdadjoke.com. Perfect. So in the URL field of our node, we'll type the URL. Now, the API documentation said we need to tell the server what kind of response we want. We want a simple text response, which is called JSON. So we go down to headers. This is like putting special instructions on our request. Click Add Header. In the name field, we'll type accept. And in the value field, we'll type application/JSON. You're literally just telling the server, please give me the data in a clean JSON format. And that's it. Let's hit Execute Node. And look at that. We have our data. We have an ID, we have the status, and right here, we have our joke. How cool is that? You just used a professional-grade tool to pull data from a random corner of the internet. That's all the HTTP request node is. Now, very quickly, the only other method you'll use a lot is POST. If GET is for getting data, POST is for sending or creating data. You might post a new message to Discord, or post a new row to a Google Sheet. It's the same idea, you just put the data you're sending in the body section here. We'll do that in a future project. Okay, this is the moment you've been waiting for. We've learned how to schedule things, how to make decisions, and how to grab data from anywhere on the internet with the HTTP request node. Now, we're going to add a brain to our workflow. We're going to use the AI agent node, and this is where you can connect powerful models like ChatGPT directly into your automations. Let's find the AI agent node and drag it onto our canvas. I'll connect the dad joke node to it. Now, when we click on it, we see a few options. The most important one is model. This is where we tell n8n which AI we want to use. We'll choose OpenAI for this. But you'll see a new field appear, credential. This is where we need to put our API key. Okay, quick pause. API key sounds technical, but I promise it's simple. An API key is just like a library card. A library has tons of valuable books, or in this case, AI power. To borrow a book, you need to show your library card. It proves who you are and lets the library keep track of what's being used. An API key does the exact same thing. It proves to OpenAI that it's you making the request and allows them to track your usage. It's just a way to securely connect your n8n to your OpenAI account. So let's get our library card. As always, you can check the description down below. I've added links to everything you'll need. Just follow the link and it'll take you straight to the OpenAI page. Once you're logged into your account, head to the top right corner next to your profile picture and click on the settings icon. On the left-hand side, click on API keys. This will open a page showing your keys, though if it's your first time, you won't see any listed yet. Now, just click on Create New Secret Key. Give it a name you will recognize and create it. Now, for the most important part, treat this key like a password. Do not share it or show it publicly. Once you create it, copy it immediately and save it somewhere safe, like a password manager. For security, OpenAI won't show you the full key again after you close this window. Now that we have our key back in n8n, we'll click on Credential and Create New. We'll paste our secret key in here and hit Save. Just like that, our n8n is now connected to the power of ChatGPT. Okay, for the grand finale of this lesson, let's make the AI do something fun. In the prompt box, we're going to give it an instruction. Let's say, take the following dad joke and rewrite it to sound like a very serious, profound quote from a wise philosopher. Then, right after that, we need to give it the joke. We'll use the expression editor to grab the joke from our previous node. Perfect. Our prompt is ready. Let's hit Execute Node. And there we have it. It took our silly dad joke and turned it into... As the inexorable march of time unfolds, one cannot help but reflect upon the companions who have traversed the path of life yet departed before the journey's end. In this contemplation, one might ponder whether the pursuit of guiding others through transient landscapes was indeed the most prudent choice. That's incredible. Do you see the power here? We took random data from the internet, and then we used an AI to completely transform it, all automatically. And that, right there, is the magic of combining these nodes. You now have the full toolkit, a scheduler, a decision maker, a key to the internet, and an AI brain. With just these tools, you are ready to build some truly amazing things. In our next video, we begin our mega project. We'll combine everything we've learned so far to build an automated content machine. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss it.